I became involved in politics when one day I met Leonard Stavisky, who at the time was an assemblyman and eventually became a senator. And I was the president of the Phillips Athletic Club, of which we had 2,400 children as members. And we had a tremendous, beautiful, successful, the most successful sports program for children in all of Queens. And so I became involved because of Leonard Stavisky. And it became a relationship where he asked me to join him and his on his staff, and to see what we could do together for the children of our community. Whatever spare time I had, I'm a go-getter. If you give me a project or a job to do, you're going to get the best of what I can do for that particular job. And I was determined that if, for example, when Leonard ran for the first time, and this goes for John Lowe too, if you needed, for example, to qualify to be on a ballot, you needed 900 signatures, I would go out and I would get a minimum of 3 times that number, because many of the signatures may not have been valid. So to ensure that it would be successful, I would go out and get 3 times, approximately 3 times the amount of signatures from registered Democratic voters to get my candidates on the ballot. John Lowe, I can't tell you the exact date, but I can tell you that the first time he ran as a candidate for elected office is when I first met John Lowe. And I was greatly impressed with John Lowe's intelligence, his honesty, his involvement in the community with his constituents or people who would become his constituents. And I loved everything about John Lowe. I found that John Lowe was so honest, so real, had so many good qualifications that I support, that I decided that this is a man I'm going to support. And I've been supporting John Lowe from the day one when he first started to become a candidate. I believe in John Lowe because of his honesty, his accurate assessment of any kind of a situation, and his desire to be an asset for the community, for the voting public, for women, for men, for children, and for education, and whatever it takes to make this a better community. I expect John Lowe to be a people's man. There's a difference between elected officials. There are elected officials who are representatives of a party only or a corporation, and they put people in the background rather than in front of what should be in a community. And so I made up my mind that John Lowe fitted all the different qualifications I expected from a good candidate, and I will always support John Lowe because John Lowe is real. He's honest, he's articulate, and he means what he says, and he does what he says he's going to do. And so I will support candidates like John Lowe as long as I'm alive. I would tell them that for all the years that I've been politically involved and campaigning for various candidates since 1965, that John Lowe is one of the most honest, one of the most articulate, one of the most qualified candidates to run for any office in the city of New York, and that he would follow through and do exactly what he promised to do. And honesty in politics is essential and critical.